I'm going to get going then. So welcome to our information forum today. We like to call this Find Your Fit with Make a Change Canada. Today is Thursday, August the 23rd, 2018, and I am Anne-Marie Edgar, and I'm the Executive Director of Make a Change Canada. I would like to take an opportunity to introduce our staff who's with us today. We have Mary Alton, who is our Employment Case Manager, and Mary is located in the area of Moncton, New Brunswick. Mary's been with our organization for over 10 years now, and chances are you've had a chance to speak with Mary, and I'm sure you'll agree that she's just a lovely person to work with in our programs.
Thank you.
We also have Louise Doyle joining us. Louise is a business coach in our Business Abilities program, and Louise lives in around Barrie, Ontario, in that area of Ontario. And Louise has been with our organization for about 4 years now. And she brings a wealth of different service models to our organization. And I don't know if you're working with Louise at all, but she's just one of our amazing business coaches in our program. So glad to have Louise here. And as well, we have Rory Case, and Rory is our community coordinator and content. She works with content and helping to organize our webinars and online events. And Rory's actually located where I am. I'm in Nelson, BC, and Rory's here as well. So that's really nice to have some staff people to go out for lunch and whatnot every once in a while. So without further ado, I'm going to get into the presentation itself. And again, I just want to welcome you and thank you for being here to attend. I want to encourage you to participate to a level that you're comfortable with. We always welcome your comments, your questions. Feel free to type your questions in the chat area, and we'll be sure to address your questions as we go along here. As well, I do want to mention that I will be mentioning some specific clients who have gone through our programs, sharing their photographs and their stories. And I want to assure everyone that I have their consent and permission to use their names and their stories as well as their photographs. So moving along here. So just a quick overview of what we are here at Make a Change Canada. We really have 3 streams of programming going on. We have our Business Abilities program, first off, which are online tools for employment and self-employment. Secondly, we have our Web Development and Design Certificate programs. And within that, we have an introductory and an advanced program. Again, the programs are online. Then we have started a social enterprise, and it's called Rogers Fire Nuggets. So I'll be sure to tell you a little bit about Rogers Fire Nuggets and what that's all about. A bit of history before we get into the programs in detail. So our organization was originally started through the Community Futures British Columbia organization. And originally we were called the Canadian Society for Social Development, or CSSD for short. So that occurred in 2004. The Community Futures office was delivering a self-employment program, and there was a business coach within that office who had a vision, and she really had a great vision to realize that self-employment would be a great opportunity for people living with disabilities. And not only that, but making an online program would be ideal for people with disabilities. So the thing is that Community Futures did not have a mandate to offer a national program. And the program was so popular that it was started regionally and then provincially in British Columbia. And then it was so popular that there was a move to move the program national. So the Community Futures organization created this organization, CSSD, and it became a separate entity. And so that was in 2004. Now, because there were some pilot projects with actually the web development program itself taking place within Community Futures, even when the organization started, there were some substantial awards given to the program. And this is with the web development program in particular. It received the Minister's Award of Excellence in Innovation and the National Award for Community-Based Learning Opportunities. And that was from the Conference Board of Canada. A little while later, about 6 months after it was incorporated, the organization gained charitable status. So we are a registered Canadian charity. Skipping ahead, the programs were delivered, and we ran a 3-year pilot project with the web development program through the government. And then the organization reached a point in time where I actually started to come into more of a management role in the organization, and the funding through the government was coming to an end. And I saw that the program could be opened up to really anyone facing challenges and not specifically just people with disabilities. So that was 2008, and we opened up the web development program really to anyone who would benefit from online learning and to gain those technology skills. Skipping ahead then to 2015, that was a big year for our organization. It was our 10-year anniversary. And within that year, we became a community coordinator organization. And that was a big move for our organization under our Opportunities Fund for Persons with Disabilities funding. And it allowed us so many more tools to use, so many more supports to provide to participants in our program. So that was a really monumental year. We also changed our name to Make a Change Canada. And as well, we became accredited under the National Imagine Canada program, standards program. Then skipping ahead to this current year, we have gained certification through Employment and Social Development Canada as an educational institution. And as well, in British Columbia, we've gained an exemption under the Private Training Institutions branch. And that's huge because that ensures that clients are able to get funding if they want to take the web development program. It's a fundable program. So we'll get a little bit more into details on some of these points. But really, I think what underlines our organization is that we've just been characterized with a solid history in providing online training programs. That's really what we're all about. And in fact, I would say we're the pioneer in the field of online training for people facing employment challenges. To date, we have served over 2,500 clients through our organization. So thinking of that, then what guides us? Well, this is our new mission statement. We had a strategic planning session about a year ago, and this is really what came out of it. So it's pretty close to our old mission statement, with a little bit more detail. So our mission is to develop and deliver online training programs and mentorship to anyone facing barriers to employment. We are a hub for job seekers, employers, and partner agencies seeking to empower themselves or others to realize their full economic, social, and human potential. So Mary Alton is pasting some links into the chat box. Do feel free to visit if you want to learn a little bit more about what defines our organization. So who takes our programs and why do they take our programs? So first off, again, in terms of our training programs, we have the web development and design on one side and then the business abilities program on the other. So in web development and design, it's really open to anyone meeting the eligibility requirements. I do have to say that probably anywhere from 75 to 95% of our participants in the program are disclosing a disability. So it is still a high level of people living with disabilities in the program. Business abilities is specifically for people who self-identify as living with a disability. So a bit of a difference there. Our clients like to take our programs because it provides a flexible learning environment. First off, in the IBDE web development program, they want to build and maintain their own website. A lot of the time, that's a good reason. Some want to develop or expand their skill set to become more employable and really a more attractive job candidate to employers. On the business abilities side, our clients want to increase their opportunity to make a living. A lot of our clients want to work from home, but not all of them. Some want to get out in the community, have a bricks and mortar job or a business. And really what's been interesting and revealed to us just through speaking with our clients over the years is that what's really important is they're looking for a quality program with individualized service. So that's kind of a nice snapshot into why clients come our way. And I've got to say, really what characterizes our programs is that it's all online. So there's lots of opportunity really to work on a flexible study schedule. And of course, I'm a huge coffee enthusiast. So I've got to mention a great benefit is just to take a break whenever you want and perhaps have a cup of coffee or a refreshment. Okay, so thanks, Judy. Yeah. It is a nice thing to be able just to have a break whenever you need and get up and move and look really after your own health and well-being as you're advancing in your career. So, okay, so what are some of the program benefits? Well, I think it's exactly that. It centers around that our programs are online, and so that allows for the greatest flexibility, and that our programs are all supportive in nature. So looking into that a little bit more, our clients can work when they want and continue to meet their daily obligations. This, in a lot of cases, may be caring for others, so children, older parents, taking them to appointments. So being able to work around those caregiving obligations. It may be your own medical appointments, or some of our clients are receiving daily care. So it allows them to receive their self-care while they're still working on their learning program. And so a lot of our clients hold down a job as well at the same time. So lots of flexibility in terms of that aspect. Another reason is to receive one-on-one assistance when needed and ongoing support. So we really meet our clients where they are rather than expecting our clients to meet us where we are. So we're reaching out an awful lot to our clients and just checking in and adapting our methods and our outreach in terms of our clients' needs. There's an opportunity to network with other participants and also to gain exposure for your work through our programs. Our clients can maintain freedom, mobility, and their options. So it's not uncommon to see our clients relocate to a new city in the course of a training program without having to give up the training program, or if they're needing to get out and earn a bit of money to pick up a job or that sort of thing. And then who are our clients? Well, our clients are really the whole range of the Canadian population. And who doesn't face challenges? So the challenges are really varied. Some people have a higher level of intensity of challenges day to day than others. But typically, we're covering the gamut. We're working with older workers, youth, people who are parents, and Indigenous peoples, people lacking a formal education, or really educated even right up to the doctorate level at times. People who are employed or unemployed, and people living in rural and remote areas, or in the heart of the big city, so in an urban center. Some of our clients are already experienced entrepreneurs, and some are new to business. So I think that's what really makes it exciting to be with Make a Change Canada, is just all the variation that we're able to experience in working with our clients on an ongoing basis. And so what brings them to Make a Change Canada? Well, I think that a lot of our clients are people with disabilities, and people, when they're ready to make that next step, that's what I'm finding is when the energy levels up and things are, the foundation's firm, then we find that that's when we'll have somebody call in or write to us, ask about our programs. So, And I think what it is they're wanting to make a positive change in their life and have the opportunity to earn some income and provide for their families. So I think it's really about having a reason to get up in the morning and just working towards that goal. So first off, just to get into a little bit of detail about business abilities. So Business Abilities, again, is our online employment and self-employment program. And really, it's made up of 4 different components. So we have our website resources, which includes reading materials, training videos, and a lot of business links that are really valuable. As clients move through the program, they're completing worksheets. And once they complete all these worksheets, it will form the basis for their business plan. There are webinars that we have on a weekly basis, and our staff is doing presentations much like this, and as well we bring in special guest presenters. Now, really at the heart of it is the business coaches. Each client in the program is matched with their very own business coach, and their coach is providing ongoing feedback and support, as well as being a really great resource for bouncing ideas off of. So that's really what characterizes the Business Abilities program. And so how does the Business Abilities program work? So it's actually a very structured learning environment. The participants go through a series of modules in order. And first, they're really just looking at whether self-employment is the right choice for themselves, and if not, whether becoming employed would be a better choice. So we call this career decision making. And if they decide to go into self-employment, then they begin doing the business research. We're firm proponents of doing the business research. It's quite possibly the most important part of starting a business is really to go out and pound the pavement, speak to some competitors, check in on what pricing you can charge, what your competitors are charging, really what people think about the idea. And a lot of times, just by going out and doing the research, you're actually being able to book some business ahead of time. So I think from that standpoint, it's really beneficial because it gives you a lot of fuel just to continue on in the effort of creating your business. And then clients move from there into modules 3 to 7 of the program, which involves getting into sales and service, studying the different forms of business, preparing for being a home-based business if that's the case, setting pricing at the right levels and taking all those considerations into consideration, and also preparing financials that are necessary for preparing a business plan. And then finally, in Module 8, putting the business plan together, the business coach is going to sit down and review that business plan, and it might go through a couple of iterations until it's finalized. And then the really neat thing about the Business Abilities program is that that's not the end of the road. Clients can still remain connected with their business coach and our staff to receive ongoing support as they're launching their business. So really the time frame is quite flexible in those terms and individualized. Okay, so what about the eligibility requirements for the Business Abilities program? So to be eligible, clients must self-identify as having a permanent physical or mental disability that restricts their ability to perform daily activities. So this is really neat because it's self-identifying and there's no paperwork or documentation required. And so that makes it a really open program in terms of being accepted into the program. Quite literally is the opportunity that, the last opportunity that is available to individuals coming our way. Now, they must be legally entitled to work in Canada. They must require assistance to prepare for, obtain, and keep employment or self-employment. They must have the ability to read and work in the English or French languages and must not be collecting EI or have that history of EI, a recent history of collecting EI. However, again, it's a really open program, so there's a lot of exceptions given and leniency to be able to participate in the program. So this is really interesting. Now, this visual came out of a research study that we completed in 2011, 2012, and it was done by a professional researcher. And we had never to that point in time studied the Business Abilities Program or our clientele. And what she was able to do was help us to really understand the clients in our program. And there was really some hair-raising moments in her findings. And I'll get into that in a little bit of detail. But first off, what disability types are disclosed by clients applying to our programs? You can see that there's a lot of mental health issues mixed among this, anxiety, high levels of anxiety, depression, bipolar disorder. But you can see in here as well that there's a lot of physical injuries. So spinal cord injuries, mobility issues are really prevalent among our clientele. I see sleep in here. We serve all disability types. So we serve people with learning difficulties. We have served people who are blind in our programs, deaf, all sorts of diseases, perhaps childhood illness that leads to a later disability. So it's really interesting, again, from that perspective, that we're serving all disability types. The really interesting thing coming out of the study was that it showed that a high proportion of our clients are living in daily pain, so chronic pain, really to the extreme or very extreme levels. And at the same time, our clients are often living on a very, very limited income, often $1,000 a month. I believe the measure was 67% of our clients are living on really a subsistence level of income. Yeah, what was really fascinating was that our researcher asked our participants about how they judged their quality of life. And this is what I meant by a really hair-raising moment, because our clients reported with the same frequency that they were reporting living in pain and having low income, that they're enjoying their lives to a significant or highly significant level. And so it was just such a, you just wouldn't think that this could be possible. But to me, what this tells me is that our clients have such a positive outlook and such motivation and initiative to make a change in their life, to participate in our programs and work for these improvements. And they're not going to let the difficulties get the better of them. So I really just think it speaks volumes. So that was part of our study. That was one of the really interesting outcomes from our study. Okay, so actually this is the last slide on the Business Abilities Program itself. So I'm wondering if at this stage I might call on Louise, our business coach. I'm wondering, Louise, if I've missed anything in the presentation, if there's something you'd like to expand on, or just your own personal reflection or what your observations have been through your time.
No, I thought it was quite concise. In terms of our clients, absolutely a lot of them have a lot of anxiety, and that's what we do, and that's why we're there as business coaches, to help them through this and to really find that balance, whether that be looking for a bit or starting a business or career decisions. So that's what we're there for, to help them through this. And it shows, because of a lot of our clients are going through the programs and they're really coming out as business owners. They're being able to really be a little bit more independent or find a career choice that they're happy with. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I'm looking at Judy's comments, and this is really resonating with you, Judy. And it's great. You're just really identifying as what we're portraying here through our research. You're identifying that that really does speak of your particular situation as well. So I think this research was really important for us to begin to really understand our clientele. And, you know, we work from a very informed basis, so we really enjoy our work as well. Thank you so much, Louise. You've really been able to really put the icing on the cake, so to speak. So I really thank you for sharing your thoughts here. Okay, I'm going to move on then to we call it the IBDE program. Now that's a bit of a historical name. Originally, the program was known as the Internet Business Development for Entrepreneurs program. So the web development program was initially started as a way for people with disabilities to learn a new skill. They were paired with artisans in the community to develop websites for these artisans. And they were only moving into self-employment. Now, things have really changed over the years. We still have the IBDE identifier, but really we're rebranding the programs more to be career development programs. Still a really great opportunity for an entrepreneur to build that business website or to create a marketing business, a web development business. But there are definitely a lot of clients coming out of the web development program and moving into employment as well. So I'm just really enjoying your feedback here, Judy. Thank you so much for all your thoughts. It's really wonderful to hear from you. So yeah, to explain a little bit more about the web development design program, it's really the home of Canada's original online web development skills training program. We began delivering this program back in 2005. And there's two components to the program. There's a 6-month introductory program and a 4.5-month advanced program. These are full-time programs, so they're 20, 30, in the more difficult parts, sometimes 40 hours a week. And we offer certificates, so graduates earn in the introductory program the Applied Certificate in Web Development and Design certificate, and in the advanced program, the Advanced Certificate in Applied Web Development and Design. And there are tuition fees. I've listed them here. It's $3,995 for the introductory program. Now there's 4 courses in the advanced program and each course is $495. So that's a $1,980 total. Really what characterizes these programs are that they're supportive online programs teaching coding, web development, and design. And that's becoming a little bit unique actually in this day and age. The web development education is becoming really sectored out into institutions only teaching the development side or only teaching the design side. But we've really kept the whole history of the program and the components of the program to this day. And we're teaching the breadth of web development and design, which I really think for someone who's not sure about what they want to do for a career, gives them that much more skill level in moving ahead. So I'm happy that we've kept the program so comprehensive. It's a very intensive program. The courses in the program here are within the introductory program. There's 9 courses. We are teaching the theory behind proper website development. And before that, even getting into an introduction to the internet, it's really interesting to read some of the history. Then moving into Photoshop courses, teaching introductory web graphics and then advanced web graphics. We're teaching the coding, HTML and CSS programming. And then we've got this new course here. We've always taught site development, but we've got really the latest technology that we're teaching is site design with libraries and frameworks. So still hand coding a custom built website and learning some JavaScript and some jQuery and integrating, they call them APIs. So things like a Facebook feed into a website, integrating a Google map, building a contact page, and e-commerce as well. So it's really comprehensive. And then we also teach the website marketing. So we're teaching search engine optimization which is essential. There's no sense in building a website if nobody's going to be driven to view your website. So it's all about being shown in the browsers on Google search and whatnot. So we teach that as well. And finally, the program is topped off with a practicum project, and it's an instructor supervised final website project. So that's the introductory program. And then the advanced program consists of 4 courses. And here we're teaching a programming language. We're using PHP to teach programming, and as well MySQL database design. So that's a 2-part, 2-course series there, the IBDE 202-204 course series. And it's very challenging, but it's a wonderful course that really expands a lot of opportunities for our students because these are really in-demand skills. And then we teach the search engine optimization in more detail, tools for SEO, and that's quite advanced. And then we have, again, a practicum project. The course is called Blogging for Business, and students are configuring a WordPress site. It's on the customized side versus just using templates and using the stamp and the cookie cutter. So really challenging and very rewarding programs to participate in. Our programs are taught by qualified instructors as well. And there's that nice component where it's not just strictly online where there's no contact with other students or without an instructor. There's very much an involved staff as well. This is the part that really excites me. The opportunities have never been so huge for people gaining technology skills. And there's so many different career streams, and I really didn't become attuned to this till probably about 5 years ago when I started talking to graduates. And I was speaking to graduates, and they weren't just moving into the information technology sector. And I would say that we used to view the program as just graduating people to become web developers, but that's really not the case. So yes, our graduates are working as web developers. They are working as graphic designers, so they're working in IT. But the really interesting thing is that they're also working in administration. So there's older workers who couldn't even raise any interest of a potential employer because they didn't have anything new to offer on their resume. A great, wonderful experience, executive directors at a high level, totally capable, but yet they were lacking skills to be competitive in today's labor market. So I do have stories of older workers earning their certificates through the program and then getting jobs in school districts, real estate boards, chambers of commerce, not bad jobs, walking into a healthy nonprofit and saying, hey, I can update your website. I can manage your blog. I can keyword your videos. And being able to really even outshine some of the younger workers that they're competing against. So it really is a game changer for that type of job seeker. So there's great success stories in that realm. Some of our graduates are working as virtual assistants. That's truly a realistic goal that's achievable. And technical administrative assistants as well. Customer service. So a lot of times those jobs, even doing telephone work now, technical skills are required. So there's a lot of work in the administration area. And then equally as exciting, I would say, is the opportunities in the marketing field. So again, I began looking at what's happening with our graduates, and they were working as social media coordinators, project managers, really driving the whole website development instead of actually doing the work, but being the project manager for web development projects. And communications coordinators. There's work just blogging. So there's work even. One of our graduates just wanted to design banners for Facebook. So it can really be as much or as little. And a person could really pick the path that they want to go in. So now, like I say, that's not to discount that our grads definitely are working in the IT field, right from end user support analyst. We've got a graduate now who's moving into a user experience analyst in the IT sector, and that's a huge field, is how to improve the usability of websites. So again, more of an analyst and advisor and not really doing the building. So yeah, and then we still have, back to our old roots, we have a lot of entrepreneurs taking the program to build their own websites. And so we do have entrepreneurs graduating out of the program with some really great business websites. And the key there is that they're able to maintain their own websites and not having to pay the rates that are required to hire a web developer. And also, web developers are in a short supply, so they may not even be able to get somebody to really help them in the way that's needed with their own business website. So I hope that gives you, a bit of an idea of really the amazing potential in the, let's call it the tech sector, but it's just really the workplace. It's just really the career opportunities that are available nowadays. So you're very welcome, Judy. So what about the eligibility for this program? So again, it's a really open acceptance. It's not, say, like a college program or a university program in particular that might require, a certain level of grade 12 or some pre-entry courses to be completed. This is really open. We do look for candidates that have a specific interest in learning web design. We ask for a grade 12 education, so graduation, or a mature student status, so an equivalent combination of education and experience. Basic or intermediate level computer skills. We don't want to set people up for a failure, so they do need some basic skills, but they don't need to be some sort of a whiz. And so that's really neat about the program. They need a suitable computer with high-speed internet. And then, of course, they've got to have the availability to dedicate the time to their studies. So 20 to 30 hour commitment per week. Now, what about the advanced program? So the advanced program requires successful completion of the introductory program, or there can be professionals come into the advanced program in order to learn these skills. And we would require 3 years minimum experience as a web developer. And whatever the case, we do really recommend that any of our students have an intermediate knowledge of HTML5 and CSS. So that's really important to have the basic coding skills down, and the experience working in the field is very beneficial. So we sometimes will require a portfolio in order to really assess applicants' readiness to proceed into the advanced program. So what are the features of the program? So, well, first off, the application process is pretty straightforward. There's an online application. We have applicants complete a basic computer skills assessment and then complete a 30-minute telephone interview. And that really lets us know the circumstances, the passions, the goals of our students coming into the program. So that's really a nice process. Our upcoming intakes, we have the introductory program starting in January 2019 and the advanced program in July 2019. We're in the process of serving clients in the advanced program right now, so that's already in progress. The curriculum, again, is really structured, so it's step-by-step. There's an awful lot of online training videos, and students progress through in a really organized manner. We have live classroom sessions, usually on a weekly basis. So that's a great opportunity for those who are experiential learners or visual learners to have that contact with the instructor in the program and see some live demonstrations and have their questions answered. And again, the video tutorials throughout the program and the practicum projects. So I hope that gives you a good idea really of what the program is all about. Okay, before I move maybe a little bit further into looking at who takes our programs with a few success stories, I'm just wondering, Mary, I'm wondering if there's anything you'd like to add to what I've said, or, I mean, you worked in that program, in the web development program for many years as our service coordinator. And so you've really, you know, had your feet on the ground and seen a lot of students over the years and how the program has changed over the years and some of the outcomes. But yeah, is there anything in particular that stands out for you?
I think you covered a lot of great information and really kind of hit the key points. And I think the biggest thing I can really share is, as Anne-Marie talked about, we see clients with, you know, all kinds of different backgrounds, different career backgrounds, and different experience working in different types of industries, different educational levels. The biggest thing is that because things have changed so much in terms of how we're using technology, I think there is just that recognition that there is a need for a little bit more current skill sets. Whether you're pursuing a job or whether you're deciding to start a business, you know, we're all, as a society, we're just operating differently. You know, we're banking on our telephones, where, you know, everything's mobile, whether it's an iPad or your cell phone. So I think people are seeing that no matter how they're conducting business or the types of work they're doing, most businesses will have some component where they're going to have some type of website, maybe using social media. So I think there really is a lot more demand on those types of skills, and for people wanting to re-enter the workforce or start a business or expand a business, you know, the traditional ways of doing things are no longer. So it's become a new tradition with all these different types of gadgets and online access to things. So, you know, it's wonderful to see people just realizing that and looking at opportunities to stay current is the biggest thing. So for me, we have people with so many different areas of interest, but with that kind of one common piece. So it's really just such a blessing to work with such amazing individuals. I think what typically will draw people to contact our organization is perhaps just wanting that extra bit of help. So that extra little bit of support, because maybe life has just gotten a little more challenging than they would want, and really need that little bit of extra guidance. I think a lot of people too, as well, just lose confidence, you know, when things have shifted so much in their lives from what they once were able to do just very easily. Things have become more challenging. So I feel that working with the coaching staff, working with an educational team who is really paying more attention to how they're individually progressing, just gives them that extra little bit of comfort that, okay, you know, you're not working on this alone. You've got support here. We're rooting for you. There is help available as you continue to move forward and gain the momentum you need, so you can get those goals attained, and you can start pursuing whatever it is you want to pursue. So it's really such an honor to work with the clients that we do, and I always feel blessed because every single person has quite an incredible story and journey that got them here, and I think it's really just such a privilege to be able to share in that small part of their journey as they're going to the next thing that they're going to do in their life.
Oh, thank you, Mary. I could never put that better myself. You always have so much experience to share and such insight. So thank you. That's really nice to hear from you. I appreciate that. Okay, well, at this point, I'd like to, you know, really look at a couple of success stories and some of the specific outcomes for clients coming out of our programs. So who are our participants? And I think about this long and hard, and this is how I would describe our participants. They're talented. So our clients coming our way are often digital or physical artists. They may be crafters or performers, or computer enthusiasts. So 9 times out of 10, there's something really neat going on there once you dig a little below the surface, and a lot of talent. In fact, here on my coffee cup, this is, you know, a photograph taken by one of the clients in our programs. So there's an abundance around me at all times, and I think that that's really nice, is the visual and the books that our clients may have written. And you know, one of our clients put together a coloring book, an adult coloring book, and another does these immaculate doodles and books of poetry. Like I'm always surprised. Singers, performers. It's incredible. So talented definitely is a word that describes our clientele. Another is determined. Our clients are dedicated and hardworking. They stick to a plan, and you know what? Something may come up that prevents them, but we don't see that as a negative. They're so hardworking and dedicated to progressing through the program. They stick to a plan, and unless something comes up, they're 9 times out of 10 going to complete what they set out to achieve. So there's huge successes, individual successes of clients in our program. Our clients are also savvy. They're often educated, as I mentioned. They are great communicators, and they're technically adept. But the one thing I think that underlines it, in some form, our clients are stuck. They're at a point in their lives where maybe they've tried all sorts of alternatives, or you know, experienced some adversities over the years, but they're ready to make those strides and get a new start here and in life. So, but they come from a range of backgrounds, and they're facing barriers. So the barriers can be huge. The barriers can be, you know, not quite so huge, but that is so typical of our clients, is to be facing some sort of employment barrier. Here's a particular success story. This here is Colin Keane. So Colin has been associated with our programs almost since the beginning. So he graduated from the introductory web development program in 2007. And then once we had the advanced program developed, he completed that and graduated in 2010. He's moved on to become a successful web programmer. His specialty is programming websites. So he's just developed so many websites over the years. Now, a few years ago, we had a need to bring on a peer tutor. We started opening up the support that we were offering to clients in our programs, and we thought of Colin. So Colin actually came to work with us as a peer tutor. He also did some coding for us, and it's progressed through the years. Last year, he served as a TA with us, and then he's now an instructor in our program. So this is really amazing to have Colin as an instructor in our program. He's an incredible person to work with on a daily basis, and he brings with him the experience of also being a participant in our programs. So he's very empathetic to the daily concerns of students in the program. So what does Colin have to say? Now, this is a pretty old quotation from the success story that we wrote on Colin, but at that time he said, "Since taking the IBDE course, I've become more proficient and confident in developing websites. I have developed numerous websites since my graduation, and even my clients are impressed with my work. If it weren't for the IBDE course, I don't know what I would be doing as a career. The IBDE course and instructors have given me knowledge and confidence, which have shaped my career as a successful freelance website developer." So that's Colin, and if you're going to move into the web development program at some point in time, I'm sure your paths will cross. Colin actually lives in British Columbia in Surrey, BC. Here is another of our graduates. So this is Cam, Cameron Miner, and Cam is from Ontario. He graduated from both the introductory and advanced programs in 2013. So Cam has a lot of challenges at certain times. So Cam lives with a mental health issue, and he's an advocate for speaking out in terms of opening the conversation about mental health issues. And I think that was really the key to his success in actually graduating from our program, because he was able to verbalize when he ran into some difficulties in the program. We were able to sort of put things on hold for a couple of weeks till things settled out into a better situation for him. And he was able to move on, returning to his studies and successfully graduate. So in the course of completing the advanced program, Cam did create a blog. It's cam.majorminor.ca. And I highly recommend actually seeing the blog, reading some of the articles. Cam speaks about living with bipolar disorder. And for me, not having, let's say, a background professionally, specifically in this area where I had learned that much about bipolar disorder, fascinating to read, fascinating. And he's able to portray and express how absolutely scary it can be to have an episode, and how extreme that it is to go from a depression to the mania. And it's just amazing. He's got videos on on his blog, and I do recommend anyway. I really want to recommend, if you have an interest in mental health issues and want to gain some deeper insight, it's a great blog to read. Now, Cam is actually going to be putting on a webinar with us, and it's coming up. I'm hoping that Mary Alton is able to identify the date and get it into the chat area. But it's coming up pretty soon, and if you're able to register, we'd love to have you attend. It's to have a conversation on mental health issues, challenges, and experiences, and just a nice opportunity to meet and network. So I'll just read Cam's testimonial here, and this actually came in to us in an email at one point after he had graduated. After notifying a job coordinator of my completion of IBDE's program, I received a job posting via email Tuesday. I contacted the company Wednesday and landed an informal interview the same day. I had a 15-minute meeting with the head of the company in the afternoon and started 8 a.m. the next day for a work trial. I finished a simple project for the company my second day today and made some good progress on the second project. At the end of the day today, I found out I will be able to officially start on Monday, November 4th. Looks like finishing school in a highly popular field was a great choice. I wanted to thank all of you for your guidance and support throughout the past year. Completing a college program after failing to finish my university education was a great accomplishment for me. You have been a really big help. So yeah, feel free to come on out to Cam's discussion that's upcoming. Now, we're not going to record that session because there's bound to be some personal viewpoints and information shared. So if you want to benefit from that session, you'll need to actually come out and attend, and we welcome you there. This is a little bit different. So in terms of someone who's managed to build a business in a different field. So we had a client in our Business Abilities program last year, Elaine from Vancouver Island. And she had set herself a really high goal, and that was to get this business ready for tourist season. She worked with her business coach, did all the business planning, was a great client in the program, worked really, really hard. And she was successful in launching a storefront business in time for the busy tourist season. So in the words of her business coach, we wish Elaine much success as she completes her business plan and opens her doors to a busy tourist season. You can just see the lovely work. And that's what I meant when I speak of the creativity and the talent of clients in the program. So what do our clients have to say about us? You've heard what we have to say about our clients, but what do they say about us? So again, going back to the research that we did in 2011, 2012, it was really heartening for us, but it was also really important. It's very important for us to know what matters to our clients. So we were told that our staff is kind, personable, accepting, patient, understanding. They listen and they're supportive. And yes, it's also very important that our staff is experienced and has expertise to offer. But, you know, so clients are looking for expertise definitely in their business coaches, but it's all these other things that they appreciate being listened to that I think really make the difference. And I think for me as the executive director, I couldn't be prouder of what's occurring in the program, that we have this approach to be caring and patient and really listen, rather I think than, you know, being judgmental or cutting people off or this sort of thing. But of course it's always a balance, but I mean, you see there these words: experienced, understanding, accepting, patient, and out on the fingers, kind. And I don't think I expected to see those sorts of comments coming back. So that's what our clients think of us, and really that's what we always strive to achieve in the services that we offer. That's our basis where we must work from. Okay, just a few more testimonials. Now, I think really until we did this study and I really got the facts and figures on the low income levels, the prevalence of low income among our clientele, that occurred. And then I was also taking part in some roundtables in the local community with different service agencies, and a speaker came in. And one of the focuses at one series of meetings was on poverty in the community. And then I came back to these testimonials, and, you know, it just sort of clicked for me. And I think in a certain way, our programs are addressing poverty in the Canadian population. So I'm really touched by what these clients have to say. And I think they speak for themselves. I'll just read them out. So Clinda from British Columbia said, "It has been very difficult to come to terms with the changes in my life since the accident that left me with a brain injury 3 years ago. Programming in a quiet room is one of the few options I have now to contribute financially in my home. With this training, I have also been able to participate again in the business my husband and I built over the last 14 years. We are now able to offer web design as an option for our customers." Willie from Saskatchewan had to say, "The program was very detailed and instructive. The program helped us tremendously, and it will help us make a living. Being a disabled person, I need that because I can't go out to work. This program allowed me to set up a home-based business for me and my wife to work at home." And Rita from British Columbia, "Your amazing programs and support all these years have made all the difference and so life-changing for me. I am so grateful you gave me the opportunity and so amazed at how far I've come." So I don't know about you, but I find those really paint a picture of some change and some regaining of hope and purpose. And so it's pretty important work, isn't it? It's pretty amazing outcomes. And I mean, I must hand it to our clients for making these sorts of achievements on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so I just want to start wrapping up our presentation today. I do encourage you, if you have any questions, just to type them in the chat area. If there's anything we can answer for you, but I'll just move on with wrapping up the presentation. So the one point that I haven't covered off is our social enterprise. So if you recall, we've started a social enterprise called Rogers Fire Nuggets. And this is really neat because, you know, there are certain people, individuals, due to their own personal challenges that say entrepreneurship isn't suitable, or getting a regular full-time job is just not really an option, or studying web development isn't possible. It's not a logical course of action for them. What this social enterprise does is provide another level of opportunity. So what we're doing here is we've got this product, we're linking up with groups throughout Canada, some social groups, work groups in communities who want to produce the Rogers Fire Nuggets. So participants in these programs can work as a team producing the Rogers Fire Nuggets and essentially have a chance to have some employment. So that's why we say creating meaningful job opportunities for all Canadians. So there's a few things that are even neater than that about Rogers Fire Nuggets. It's really a win-win-win all around. It's a win in terms of the employment opportunities, providing supportive work opportunities for individuals across Canada. Another real benefit of the social enterprise is that we're transforming natural materials that would otherwise be discarded into a new product that's useful and eco-friendly. So corporations are going to be able to make donations of the raw materials and also participate in the social enterprise. We're going to be able to get some donors on board in terms of the corporate world that will be able to be proud to be a part of this social enterprise as well. So that's going to be really important. Now, this social enterprise, Rogers Fire Nuggets, was the original idea of one of our own business clients. John Rogers of Nova Scotia originally created the Rogers Fire Nuggets. And really his central interest is being able to generate a beneficial return from his original idea. And so what happened though, John is a wheelchair user and, you know, he faces, let's face it, some daily challenges. He was also located in the Nova Scotia area. Long story short, he was never able to take the idea to the point he wanted to alone. And his business coach, our Doug Tardif, our business coach, always loved the idea. I'll always remember the day when we were in a Skype call and he pulled out the Rogers Fire Nuggets when he first saw them and said, I love this idea. And he's always been enthusiastic. So, you know what, we're all working together now to bring this idea to life. So if you do have any questions about Rogers Fire Nuggets, also, if you have a group in your community that sells firewood as a fundraiser, you know, feel free to reach out to me for more information because I would love to connect them with some information about the Rogers Fire Nuggets to supplement their fundraising efforts. So we can help to get fire nuggets as a part of firewood sales so that social groups, social clubs, service clubs in your community can earn more money through fundraising. So this is the way we're going to distribute the Rogers Fire Nuggets, is as a fundraising opportunity for all sorts of groups throughout Canada. So that's a little different, you know, compared to our online programs, but it's a really neat direction for us to be moving in. Okay, so here, wrapping up, I want to just outline some of the ways to become involved. You know, I want to really underscore that we are a national charity. And really, it's all about service, isn't it? When you're a charity, I know from our end, that really guides what we're doing. But from your end, how can you be more involved? If you like our organization, well, there's a number of ways to be involved. We do have a student showcase and custom website competition annually, and our next showcase will be in November 2018. So that will be an opportunity to, you know, do some voting, view the student websites, and just really see the great work that they're producing and support the event. Each year, we also produce a desktop calendar. This is our calendar for 2018. Now, if you have artistic talent, we would love to hear from you if you would like to participate in the 2019 calendar. So we're always looking for people who want to contribute their work. And this calendar is coveted. It is valued all across the country. It's distributed to clients. It's distributed to community partners. And they eagerly await the calendar each year. So I do encourage you, if you do have artistic talent, to reach out to me. And yeah, I'd love to see your work and see if we can include you in the publication. Another way to really help our organization is to become an ambassador. If you like what we do, if you think you have a great story, we probably think you have a great story. We'd love to share your story if you're willing. So do keep that in mind. But yeah, don't be afraid. If you believe in what we do, if you've had a good experience, reach out and tell others. You're our best ambassadors because you've been through our programs and you're our participants. Another way to be involved is to network and collaborate with other participants. And this does happen. Our business coaches in particular are pretty good at doing some matching between participants. So we've had a woman who did quilting bring another sewer on board who was short on work and do some piecework. So opportunities like that can exist. And if you become an employer through your self-employment work, down the road, think about hiring a graduate. Or if you're working with a nonprofit in your community, there could be a way to reach out to us and we can suggest a graduate of our web development program who could gain some experience by doing some web development work for a nonprofit in your community. Okay, finally, I am the executive director and I always need to put that hat on. So as a charity, we do rely on donations as well. So I do need to mention that if you have friends or family or someone you know who is a person who likes to donate and they don't know who they're going to donate to one year, if you like what we do, you believe what we do, don't be afraid to suggest our name and introduce them to our organization. Another way to become involved is to become a volunteer in our organization. We've had some really neat projects over the years where we had a team of volunteers closed captioning our training videos ahead of some deaf students starting in the program. And that was a really neat project. So it was a very hands-on. We had a virtual team working on that. When we had our 10-year anniversary, we had a team of volunteers across the country doing the publicity work, the social media work behind that. So that was another great project. And then when we became accredited, we also had a team of volunteers working on all of those documents needed for the accreditation. So that was pretty neat too. So there are opportunities, and I would be the person that's great to reach out to if you have any interest. Of course, we're on social media. So I just want to mention what social media we're on. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. We have a group on LinkedIn as well as a company page. So if you like social media, we always try and keep it interesting. And we're going to be running a really neat series, and I hope you'll want to be a part of it in some way, either just through supporting it in the social media or actually by taking part. So there'll be lots of opportunity to be engaged. And what we really have an interest in is discussing success and just what success means to you, and really open that dialogue and really get some contribution. And we'll be writing blog posts and getting some staff. Staff will be writing their own articles, sharing their thoughts, and clients, graduates. So we'll see where that goes, but that's sort of our vision for something neat that we can do in social media. And you can subscribe to our email list. We don't have a lot of emails going out right now, but we've got an upcoming series of success stories that we'll be publishing. So if you want to receive those by email, then you're best to get on our email list as well. We do also have publications coming out about our social enterprise, Rogers Fire Nuggets. And contact us at any time. That's our telephone number, 1-888-927-7473, and our website addresses. We've got 3 websites, makeachangecanada.com, businessabilities.ca, and ibde.ca. And this is just a photo of our staff and board at our planning session about a year ago. So that's it for today, actually. I want to thank you so much for attending today. I really want to thank you for your participation, for lending an ear. It's really a mouthful. It's a really interesting organization. There's a lot going on. I hope you've learned a lot. If you feel like there's anything that you still have questions about, please feel free to reach out to our staff. Always feel free to reach out to us. So again, thank you so much for attending, and do have a great day. Thanks again.